Welcome to the Mercy Music Podcast. Cam, you're our guest today.
Yes,
How
thank
are
you for
you?
having me. I'm great.
You are an artist, right?
Yes.
You're an engineer producer.
Yes.
You are the studio manager, night studio manager, weekend manager, right?
Yes.
You are a live sound person.
Yes.
What else am I missing?
I think you pretty much got it all. Yeah.
If I
Producer,
met you
artist.
right on the street today, what would you lead with? Artists, live
You know,
sound.
wow, that's honestly a great question because
Like
that's a question I'd ask
you can
myself.
give me two answers. Give me the one in your heart and give me the one for the paycheck.
The one in my heart would probably say producer.
Okay.
Paycheck, I'll probably say live sound engineer or engineer of some facet.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we all probably have that similar of
Yeah.
of an answer. But all right, so take me back though. What started this journey for you, like music and media? What started that journey for you?
I guess it's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know. Growing up, my mom was like an avid fan of music,
Okay.
all facets of music too. So I would listen to like, popular rock stuff, a lot of hip hop, a lot of R&B. So growing up, I really just fell in love with that. And I would find that, it was pretty easy for me to like catch a tune of a song. Like I would I would get earworms really quickly.
Okay.
But as far as like, when I was young, that's pretty much as far as music went for me. I was really into sports.
Oh, okay.
So I was really a baseball kid. Yeah, really into baseball. Played it all of my life up until high school. And then really like once I got into high school, it was like junior, senior year. I was kind of thinking like, okay, like what do I really want to do now?
Yeah.
Though? You know what I mean? Because I did enjoy baseball and I loved it, but I just didn't really know if it would go further for me than, possibly the college level.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, what else would I want to do with my time that I feel like I would be passionate about? And then I kind of just went down a list of like, okay, like what do I, practical jobs, just a bunch of different stuff. At one point, I was almost seriously considering architecture.
That's
like being an
great
architect.
job.
Yeah.
That's a great job.
Which, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Like, it's still like creative. So I was like, okay, like I get to use some creativity there, but it never stuck. And
You could build studios.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
not too late. It's not
That's
too
true.
late.
That's true.
Your friends that
Could
do
still
that.
utilize that. But yeah, it got to a point where I was like, okay, like, well, what about music? Like, I love music. I love listening to music. Like, what if I try to like get at something in music? And I thought to myself, like, well, I don't want to be like a rapper or
You don't
artist. No, because at that point I was like, I'm a very shy, kind of introverted person. So I was like, I don't think that life is what I would really want.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, like, what if I produce? Like, what if I make the beats? Like, I really.
So you knew that was a thing, though.
I knew that was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because like in my head, I was like, okay, I had a friend actually that produced at the time. So I was thinking about him, and I was just thinking like, okay, I love music, and usually what makes me gravitate towards a song is the beat or like the feeling of, that the music brings aside from the lyrics. So I was like, maybe I could try that. And, it was really just a matter of, thinking of stuff, throwing stuff at the wall. And then I really just brought it to my parents like, hey, I might want to try making some music. And they were like, you know what, go for it. Like,
they were supportive.
Yeah,
of that?
very.
Yeah.
Which was surprising and helped a lot because, having that support really gave me the confidence to even go for it.
I'm glad you touched on that because a lot of our students may be listening, or when they come in, and some students come in and they have that question. Like, whether, maybe they have the support. I think most of our students do have the support actually, but some don't. Some don't have that support, and it's really, and I can't answer that for the families or the students. Or that's something that you do have to kind of figure out internally on your own, because this is a hard career path. I'm sure sports though, right? Sports, I would imagine is really hard as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But so that's amazing that they supported your aspirations.
Yeah.
What software was your friend using at the time? Do you know?
FL Studio.
Nice.
Yep.
Was it Fruity Loops at the time?
Fruity
or was
Loops.
It nice?
I think it was FL at the time officially.
Okay.
It was officially known as FL Studio, but it was like the early FL Studio.
Yeah. Amazing. And you still use that, or
I still use FL? Yeah.
Is that if you're opening up if you're sitting down, you got some time to make a track? Is that where you're opening? FL?
I'm opening FL.
Okay.
Yep.
Amazing.
For sure.
Amazing. Yeah. I don't use it that much, but probably much. I would say like almost not at all.
Yeah,
But a lot of my friends have used it to like amazing,
some people, FL doesn't get a great rap sometimes, and I feel like
I'm an FL defender because
you know what I mean. Yeah, because I mean it. I feel like it kind of opens up the window for more people to get involved in music. I mean, it's a very user-friendly DAW. Like, a lot of people say it's like it's too easy or whatever. Or like it just makes it like, oh, you could just I don't know. I don't know what the whole stipulation with FL really is. I feel like it's a very useful tool. And it helped me understand music and like making music from early on. Like, when I just first started trying.
Too easy. I mean, I don't know what that means. Like,
exactly.
It's
like
for it.
Exactly. Like, why would you be mad at a DAW that helps you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say that the too easy thing is probably why I stay in like my certain DAWs because like I know Pro Tools best. So I'm actually it's easier for me to just make it faster in that.
Exactly.
Though there's some things now that I'm trying to do that Ableton is kind of beating Pro Tools in, so I'm finding myself using Ableton a little bit more. I was a big Reason head back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, and then my grandfather was the first person to show me FL, which is so funny to me.
Really?
He was like making beats like drum patterns. Like he was like big band kind of music guy.
Sick, man.
And like he was like, I got this software, FL Fruity Loops. So it's like I always associate it back to him like doing that on his laptop.
That's really cool. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
but
all people
it was
can
easy,
try
right?
it. Yeah,
exactly.
It allows you to get your ideas out smoothly.
Yeah, use it. Yeah. I mean, and easy, like good. Okay, if it's easy, if it gets you making music, do it. And then also, I have friends that have like placed music in film and TV and commercials using FL. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and hate.
Numerous professionals use FL Studio, so it's like you can't really discredit it.
Yeah, not at all. And I'm sure we have it in the studios here. We have it in some of the lab. I think the teacher stations have it, but we'll see where it goes. I will say, I mean, the popularity every 5 years or so, something is like the popular DAW.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what it is with our students right now. It's pretty diverse with our students.
It is. I see some of the freshmen like FL and use FL. So
I feel like it doesn't have as much of, like, there was a time where everybody coming in was like FL.
For sure.
Now it feels a little bit more diverse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It kind of like,
so?
I guess it kind of like settled in with the other DAWs. And
I feel like it's just like everything though. It's like, like still like Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton, FL.
I mean, you can't go wrong with those DAWs either. You really can't.
Some people like Cubase.
I love, Cubase is confusing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're interested in music production, and then like what? You can't just like, what is that? What's next?
Well, you know what? I was very blessed and highly favored with just the support that I had, because that really is what kind of propelled me like into going into this full force. Like, as soon as I told my parents like, hey, I might want to try music, my dad was like, okay, cool. Like, here's a keyboard, here's a laptop, here's FL Studio.
How did he know to grab those things?
He really just looked it up. And honestly, FL Studio, I gave him an idea because, I was like looking into it. My friend had FL Studio. So I was like, hey, like, I think I want to try this. You know what I mean? But he was really all in for me, so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for anything better. And I just, it was really just like also my own interest in stuff that kind of drove that too. Because, he got me that stuff and I was like, okay, cool. Like I started watching YouTube videos, tutorial videos. Yeah. I mean, I was heavy on YouTube. This was obviously before I went to college and stuff. So I was looking up like music theory videos. I was taking notes about music. Like I was really getting into it.
I mean, you can learn.
Yeah.
You can learn. I learn like people make fun of me. YouTube is like what I pull up to watch something. Like I'm not like watching TV.
I'm always on YouTube. Yeah.
And there's a lot of like crap, but there's a lot of amazing stuff on there too.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's probably 20 channels that I still like watch and learn and actually learn stuff from, and
for sure,
and learn techniques. And so you can spend a lot of good time on there. There's a lot of misinformation on there too. I don't know if you find that too, but there's a lot of great stuff. And to me, you don't actually go to college for. I mean, the information you can find at home, right?
Yep.
You come to a place like this, obviously to get a curated knowledge base better, but the connections to people, what I mean? So you're doing that research at home. And how far do you get with it? Are you like putting out music? Are you recording people?
So I was just making a lot of beats, just making tons of beats, just trying to like see what I like, how I, develop techniques, see what I like to do. And then after a while, like my dad was like, okay, like what do you want to do with these now? Like you're making these beats, like you have anyone you want to give them to, whatever, you know? So then I was like, okay, like, let's see if I could shop around. And like, an old family friend of mine actually started like rapping and stuff. So I was like, okay, let's make some music, whatever. So I started sending him beats.
That's great.
He rapped on something.
So when he rapped, are you recording that, or are you?
I did actually.
Okay,
yeah.
So you have a microphone at that point.
Yes. So literally it was like, you could go on Amazon and find it. It was just like a starter.
I love that.
A starter kit.
That's great.
Microphone, cable, stand, and a Scarlett.
Nice.
So that's all I had. And then I recorded him. Literally everything I did, I figured out on the way. Like even mixing him, I mixed his voice. I just YouTube, and then I was looking at EQs.
Yeah.
I was really like studying for a while before I even like applied it. So I was really just trying stuff, seeing what sounded good to me and all that. And then it just kept progressing. He was like, okay, so like I end up, wow, yeah, this is bringing me back because I was really into it. I like illustrated a cover for the single and everything.
Okay.
And like, so I was really doing everything, and then I put it out. And then
what do you mean put it out?
Like
you put it on
DistroKid.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Put it out on DistroKid on streaming. And then
but even that is like a task. Like even I've worked with people still that they're like, how do I get this online?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even
I was looking up stuff, and I was like, seeing which distribution site I wanted to use, and at the time DistroKid looked good, so
I was doing it. we can go down a distribution rabbit hole. But,
man,
they just got bought. But they all of them are getting bought and sold, and it's a whole thing.
Madness.
But and so is this still in high school? Is this
is still high school? Yeah. So
did your high school have any music stuff, or not really?
Not really. Okay. And it's funny because I told you my friend had been making beats before me. So as I started getting into it more, like we would just talk all the time about it. And like, I would show him beats and be like, "Oh, what do you think?" And then at one point, one faculty member, I forgot who it was, they said that there was a studio that they had like in the old gym somewhere.
At the high school?
In the school, in the high school. And we were like, "Oh, we would love to use it." And they were like, yeah, for sure. I have never seen that studio room like ever. I don't even know if it exists for real. But that was like teased for a little bit, and then I just never found that room.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's really too bad.
Yeah. But I mean, that didn't stop me. I, was doing it at home anyways.
Well, I like that you said that it didn't stop you, because that's what this industry is. Like nobody's going to give it to you.
Right.
I mean, your dad bought you and invested in you. He did. Invested in you, which I love hearing that. I mean, people did that for me, and I mean, those people in your life, like thank you, right? It's amazing. But no one's gonna give it to you, and sometimes I'll see people just like waiting, like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for someone to ask me to do this. It's like, no, man.
No, yeah.
Like they said they had a studio there, and they didn't. Oh, maybe they did, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
They didn't
around.
really they didn't bother, looking for us for it. We would have to search for that. But yeah, no, and my dad played a very pivotal role in it.
Did he do music at all?
No, at all.
So he just kind of.
He literally. I told him, and he just he took it and ran with it, and he was kind of with me. Like he started learning about okay, I'm doing the music stuff. He was like, okay, who could I talk to kind of get him in the right circles and around the right people?
Yeah,
and he set a lot of stuff up for me. I mean, he gave me the idea to drop an instrumental album. Okay. So then I did. This was also in high school, probably senior year. I dropped an instrumental tape with 10 beats.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
He really tried to get me out of my shell, doing photo shoots. He had me do merch for my stuff. It was crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
and
huge.
Then the summer out of high school, well, actually, no, let me rewind because COVID happened my senior year of high school.
Right.
Yes, that was the middle of my senior year. So I didn't get prom or anything. I did get graduation, but it was in the middle of July.
And was it a car line? Was it one of those?
No, it was in the middle of July, and it was in the parking lot so that we could just all be spaced out. Jeez. But it was super hot, so.
COVID. Well, that's a whole, we could probably talk for an hour about that.
Yeah,
well, did it enable you to make more music at home?
I mean, yeah, I was home all the time, so I was just making beats and stuff.
Yeah.
But
do you think you would have spent as much time making music if you weren't if you didn't have that?
That's a good
experience?
Question.
Not that I don't want to minimalize obviously it was a horrible time, people died and stuff, but like, you know, a lot of people use that time for self growth too.
For sure.
And
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely spent a lot of time on video games.
sure, yeah,
You know, I was still in high school at the time, but no, it did.
You're allowed to be a child.
It gave me all the time to, you know, like try stuff and make more beats and, you know, make all types of music. So I was definitely making a lot of music at that time for sure. And another huge pivotal moment. Well, actually, yeah, this is a main pivotal moment. November of that year, 2020 still, this producer, his name is Arsonist Heatmakers.
Okay.
He made tons of Dipset music, Jim Jones, Cameron, all that. They were huge. So, you know, my dad was an avid fan of his because he loved that music and stuff, early 2000s. So he was actually hosting a master class where, you know, people could go to his studio.
Yeah.
It's a little class. He'll give you game, whatever. And, you know, that's that. So he was like, yo, like, let's do this. So signed me up.
Where was his studio?
We end up going. It's downtown in the city. It's actually directly on the Diamond District, the 47th, West 47th.
Okay.
So the studio's right there. And I brought a flash drive with some of my beats. And we were in there. I was easily the youngest in there. I was like 17 at the time. There was a lot of much older guys, you know, people who were fans of his, basically. Sure. But they were also producers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I showed up. He dropped tons of game. And at one point, he was like, all right, well, any of you guys bring beats? Anybody brought a flash drive? And I was like, oh, me. I was the first one. So I was like, oh, I did. Yeah. So I gave him the flash drive. He's like, all right, cool. He was like, he put on the first beat. He was like, oh, that's hard. Okay. He put on the second one. He was like, how long you been making music? I was like, well, like for almost 2 years at this point. Yeah. He was like, wow. He's like, all right. He's like, this is really good for 2 years. I mean, you know, you're showing like, these are solid beats. Like this is solid music. Yeah. Like I really like this. So, yeah, he was really rocking with my music. And after the fact, he kind of spoke to me and my pops. And he was like, oh, like, you know, I really like your stuff. Like, I think you're cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want, you could come by the studio anytime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just, you know, if you just want to hang out or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just check out the environment. Like, feel free. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, like, you know, big opportunities. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Absolutely. Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So then slowly we started like going there often, just me and my dad. And then I would pull up, you know, kind of just check out the vibe, say what's up, watch him make music because he was sick. You know, he uses the MPC, so
I love it. Yeah,
he's a great sampler. So it's really intriguing to watch him work.
I bet you learned so much just from watching. I did
just from watching. Yeah, just seeing how other people work. You know what I mean? It's great, and he's really cool to watch because he operates completely just off of feeling. You know, he doesn't even really have much objective when he's working. He's just whatever he's feeling with the music, you know, and it was really cool to watch. And
but I'm sure you were also watching and learning etiquette in the studio too.
Yeah,
like what to do or not to do.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
definitely tried not to get in his way at all. You know, I just tried to kind of like be a fly on the wall, you know.
I mean, shout out to anybody. I mean, people let me intern. People said no, actually, to interning too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people said yes, and just being able to go in there and watch is and just because there's no, as much as there's all this great information on YouTube, everything, but I feel like there's still not like anything to prepare you for what a studio actually is and what sessions actually are. Like there's the movies and documentaries kind of all, it's not exactly what it is. It's always really a little bit different.
It really is a very unique environment.
How long did you do that for?
Yeah, I mean, I watched him for a while, couple months, and as I kept going, he was like, you know, like, he would have artists come in and out, you know what I mean? So he was like, you know, like every once in a while he'll try to plug me and be like, oh, look, this kid makes beats. Like, you should work with him. Like, send him some of your stuff. You know what I mean? So he was really like trying to get me involved.
That's very nice.
And yeah, it just kept flourishing, man. And my dad really tried to keep me involved in that too. So he was a fan of Arsonist. So going there was like a treat for him too. Because he would sit there like, you know, there'll be times he'll sit there and he would talk to him for just like, you know, hours while I'm just in the corner kind of making my beats and stuff, you know, like, so he was just really, we were just building a relationship there. And, you know, it came time, like, you know, I was doing that for like a year, and then he did another mixed with the master's class, and he was like, yo, just pull up. So then I pulled up, you know, and he like kind of used me as an example. He's like, oh, he was here last time, the first time I did it, whatever. And it was just so cool, man. It was cool. But I got to meet Fred the Godson. I don't know if you know who that is. No, he's a very well-respected in the streets rapper. Okay. Amazing lyricist. But he unfortunately passed from COVID.
Oh, jeez.
So I was able to meet him right before he passed. And he kind of gave me a cosign as well, you know, because he heard my stuff and he was like, man, you got good stuff. Like, we should do something, you know what I mean? And we weren't able to get around to it. But I still hold that close to my heart. He actually signed a vinyl for me as well.
Oh, man. So, well.
Yeah, that's real.
But that kind of encouragement, let's say, like early on is I mean, at any time, we're artists. We want that encouragement,
exactly.
Right?
And especially someone who's respected like that, you know? Like, it definitely meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
For sure. And I was still only like 18 at the time, so. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That just turned into me. I still go there to this day.
You do? Okay, I was going to ask that.
To this day. Amazing. So we still maintain that relationship. I still try to go as much as I can. And yeah, he introduced me to a bunch of artists. I ended up dropping tons of singles. I dropped an album as well, actually, as a producer myself, just with a bunch of artists on it. And yeah, it's been a cool ride. And that's really just the producer side of my musical journey. So
that's amazing.
No, I was definitely blessed and highly favored and just kind of put in the right positions.
Yeah.
You know,
in
the right
work.
rooms.
And I mean,
I was prepared for it.
You said yes, and people, you know, saw something in you, but you're putting in the work too.
Right.
And it's you know, we want to show gratitude and all those things, but you put it in the hours too. It's like, you know, if you weren't, you wouldn't, you know.
If I wasn't ready with the flash drive in that moment, that probably would have been the one time I met him, and that's it.
Right.
Yep.
Amazing. So then what? What's after that?
Well, I started to kind of expand from there. I mean, I saw the success I had in that realm of just like, you know, going to an event. So I was like, okay, let me go to more events. I found a lot of like creative producer events, song camps. I did those for like sync placements and stuff like that. But a lot of my success came from just like, obviously preparation, but right place, right time. Because one point I was working at my uncle's sneaker store for the summer just to get some money.
Sure.
It turns out my uncle is friends with a very old school rapper named Cormega, who's also a well-respected rapper. So he gets all his shoes and clothes from him. So he was like, hey, my nephew, he makes beats, like, you know, just so you know. And he was like, oh, really? I'm putting an album together. So tell him to send over some beats. And I did. And then sure enough, he rapped on a beat and I got my first placement.
I think I remember when this happened.
Yeah. This was when I was in college at this point, I think. I
feel like I remember this happening and being excited.
Yeah, this was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But yeah, right place, right time.
Huge. Like, yes, obviously, you know, that connection is amazing, but you still have to follow through with it, and they still have to like it,
right?
You know, because it's happened where it's like, oh, send me that, and then people don't send you anything,
right?
Even with me, I'm nobody, right? And it's like, oh, send me your music, no, and like half the time people don't send it. It's like,
and you know, I'm telling you guys the successful moments, but there have been plenty of other moments where I've sent beats to other artists that I have never heard from them again. You know what I mean? So like, it really is like just. There
was a famous artist that said it's you're going to hear no 90% of the time, but it's the yeses.
It's the yeses that count.
Few yeses. I've we can go to, you know, you hear no all the time.
Oh yeah.
Sure. That's amazing. Yeah.
And it's so I found myself getting a placement there. I found myself in a room with very legendary people that I was very grateful for. And it kind of hit me too in that moment because I was speaking with the song camp that I did, long story short, was in the same studio that the rapper did a listening event for the album. So he had a bunch of like publicists there. It was just a media only listening room. So there was a publicist there who was there for the song camp that I did a couple months prior. So then I saw her and I was like, oh, hey, like, I don't know if you remember me. She was a very sweet lady. She had very like, she just had a lot of wisdom. So I just wanted to like introduce myself to her. And she kind of said something that kind of opened my eyes. I was like, I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm, here. Like, this is so cool, And she was like, take it all in. Like, these are your peers now. You're in the room with your peers. You know what I mean? Like, you're on this album just like they are. You're in a room with your peers. And that really opened my eyes. Like, wow, like, these are my peers. And it became something that was like much more attainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In my eyes. Because like, wow, I really am here. You know what I mean? And that was very motivating and,
that's amazing.
Just eye-opening. Yeah, for sure.
And I think work gets you more work, which is always it's like, that first thing is always the hardest. It's like, well, it's like when jobs want 2 years experience. It's like, well, how do I get 2 years experience without doing the work? But every placement leads to more placements. And I'm sure people found you from those placements and wanted to hire you or work with you for those things. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, we could get into my engineering side. Because I didn't even really get into engineering because then that's like oh man, that's a whole nother thing. So, okay, we got to go back to 2020. At this time, I had one of my middle school friends. She was dating this guy at the time that was from Yonkers, where I'm from. And he was in this musical group where it was just a bunch of rapper producers that they basically all went to the same school or similar Yonkers public schools. And they were all friends. They all made music. And they decided, like, all right, let's make a group. And they rented out a studio space. So they had their own studio, too. So a random day, I saw her post, like, a video of his for, like, a song or something.
Okay.
And I just texted her. I was like, hey, like...
Yeah.
I think you could, like, hook me up with your man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he makes music. Like, I want to send him some beats or something.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, yeah, for sure. So then she kind of locked me in with him. And then... he was also a great guy, very welcoming. And he was like, yeah, like, pull up, dude. Like, we got a studio. Like, just pull up. So I found myself in there a lot as well at that time. And
more as an engineer?
No,
both?
That was actually just as a producer.
Okay.
But that subsequently, like, brought me to the avenue of engineering.
Okay.
So I found myself in the studio. I was producing a lot for him. We ended up collabing and making a collab tape.
Nice.
So... so we made a collab tape. There was this one song that we wanted to do a music video for. So one night we were like, all right, let's do a music video. Pulled up to the studio. So we were getting ready for the video, whatever. We were just cooking up. And there was a dude that was there that I hadn't met before. And he was like, oh, like, yo, I really like your beats, like, whatever. So I was playing some, and he was like, oh, I like that. Can I take that beat? So I was like, yeah, cool, for sure, whatever. Long story short, he accompanies us on the video. And then comes to me later and he says, well, I rapped on that beat. I want it on my tape. So then I was like, yeah, for sure. And then another thing, he was like, I'm doing a listening event for the mixtape. So he's like, come through. It's going to be at this studio. It was called Plug Studio in the Bronx. So I go, I bring my friend. We were in like a big room. It was really nice. I was like, wow, this is a nice studio. And I was thinking, I was like, this is cool. Like, I would love to be in this environment all the time. Sure, you know what I mean? So I was thinking, what would it take to, like, engineer in here? Like, I was just kind of just like thinking it to myself, literally in the corner. I was just in the corner listening, and I was just like, it would be cool to be here. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I could learn how to mix in here. So then, again, I guess, like, right place, right time. Like, we were all there, and then he leaves and he comes back with this guy, and he's like, yo, bro, I want you to meet my cousin. He's the owner of the studio.
Nice.
So I was like, hey, nice to meet you, bro. Like, how you doing? I was like, yo, this is a nice place. Like, do you guys do internships at all? And he was like, yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, come through. You can come through and intern anytime. Like, we're always looking for new people. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I got his contact, and then slowly I just started showing up.
Yeah.
Interning there, I was just literally, once again, another fly on the wall, just watching the engineer work, you know? Every once in a while, I'll ask a question or whatever, but it was really just a lot of observing. And then slowly, a couple months in, it would turn into like, I'm watching him and he'll be like, can you take over real quick? I just got to use the bathroom. Or can you take over real quick? I got to take a call. And then those were moments where I kind of had to like try to apply myself.
What are you, and what software are you?
This is Pro Tools.
Okay, it's Pro Tools.
So this is Pro Tools.
And you didn't have Pro Tools yet, or you?
No, I didn't. So this was like really new to me, and he was kind of, you know, at this point he kind of taught me a little bit, like, okay, here's some shortcuts, whatever. Like you got to see my hand. He would always say, like, you know, look at my hands, like. You got to be able to work fast, you know? So
he's right.
Whenever he would have me take over, I would be so scared. I'd just be like, oh my God, trying to work as fast as possible, you know? The only keys I knew were like 3. And then like, you know, I was like, 3, just start, stop, record. But yeah, and then like I just kept doing that. And then slowly they got more confident in me and I got more confidence in myself. And I was like, hey, like, could I run a session today one day? And he was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. I'll give you a session.
Okay.
So he gave me a session and I, you know, tried it. I did it. It was good. And he was like, all right, cool. So then next time he gave me 1 more, 2 more. And then I don't know if he was checking in with them or not, but he was telling me, he was like, you know, I'm getting good feedback from the guys that, you know, you're getting. So he was like, you know, I could give you more sessions. So
amazing.
Then it just kind of flourished into that, and then I ended up being an
I'm
active.
sure he was checking in because that happens behind the scenes. That not I don't want to say behind the scenes stuff, but like, that happens.
Yeah, right.
And
I figured
it could be simple, just like you know, because people will tell you like, oh nah,
yeah,
like,
he wasn't.
Because that's happened. Like I've had people fill in for me and something, and producers like, nah, next time. Nah.
Yeah,
like,
next time we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Or they go, he was fire. Like, he was great, or she was great. But
amazing. I mean, listen, it wasn't all perfect. I definitely had some upset clients before, but
have you been yelled at in the studio? Don't tell me what happened, but just
kinda, definitely. Yeah, me too. I've been yelled at in a numerous amount of ways, actually.
Well, we can talk about live sound yelling too. I'm sure that happens too.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh, yeah.
In every field.
Yeah,
but
so that's amazing. Do you still do some work?
A lot more positive. Not as much anymore. Yeah. So I kind of slowed down once I graduated from here because then I didn't have school anymore. So I was like, okay, like now I really got to work.
Yeah.
So I was trying it and it was so slow. I was barely grabbing sessions, you know, and it became like, you know, the way that studio operated, at least, you know, you're not getting paid unless you're in a session.
Yeah.
So I would, you know, show up one day for work and maybe get, you know, I'll be there for 10 hours, maybe get like 4 hours of actual work, you know?
Yeah.
So then at the time it was just like, you know, this is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So then that's kind of when I decided to try to pivot for live sound because, you know, I'd been fresh off of Professor Lucera's live sound class.
Yeah.
And it seemed interesting to me, especially, you know, when I was in the middle of taking the class, I was like, this is cool. Like working the board, this is cool. It seemed, I wouldn't say simple to me, but I would say like, it seemed like something I could grasp. Yeah. So I was like, okay, like this might be a possibility too. So then.
And did the idea of diversifying your kind of portfolio of skill set, was that part of it too?
For sure, yeah. I was just since the beginning, like first getting into music, I wanted to be the type of person that like knew how to do everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it was like an ego thing, but I was like, I didn't want to have to rely on somebody else. I didn't want to give somebody a beat of mine and then they mix it and it sound not what I want it to be. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want to know how to do it myself.
Right, absolutely.
So I was very much that type of person. So that kind of helped me too. I feel like diversify just my skill set because, you know, I wanted to learn every facet of music production.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was.
And so, take me through the live sound journey because I know you do a lot of that now.
Yeah, true.
Too.
I do. That's probably what I do the most of right now.
Wow.
And it just started with the summer that I got out of college. You actually sent a mass email.
Yeah.
From
but they work.
Yeah.
They work.
I
just sent one out yesterday. Actually, I don't think I sent you on that one. But I sent one out yesterday.
Damn, come on, man.
No. We'll talk off screen. But so people hit me up a lot. They hit me up and they hit up Mercy a lot, and they go like, "I need somebody for this or that," and you know, a lot of times I'll do it too, you know. But it's
it works,
right?
Works.
But a lot of times I just can't take on more things. I just can't take on more, right?
Yeah.
And so And a lot of times they're asking for students too. They're just like, or recent, alumni or something. And so, okay, so I'm remembering this now. So yeah, that was great that you.
Yeah,
but again,
it was just a job posting. Yeah,
I sent out the information, but again, I don't want to throw any students under the bus, but like I'll email that out, and then like 2 months will go by, and someone's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about emailing that person back," and I'm like,
and you know what's funny about that specific email? You sent it, and I must have seen it immediately the same day.
Yeah,
and as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I got to jump on this. So I was like, let me email, and then something told me you sent the phone number in there, and something told me like, you know what? Let me just call him right now. So I was like, immediately called him, got on the phone.
I love it.
And he answered, and I was like, hi, I see that you're looking for an audio engineer. I stretched the truth a bit. I was like, you're looking for an audio engineer. I have a year of experience. I know how to use that board because he said that he had the X32.
Yeah.
So like, I know how to use the board. I have a year of experience. I would love to come in. And he was like, yeah, come in for an interview.
I love it.
And then actually, like, maybe a couple weeks later, another student from my graduating class, he told me, he was like, oh yeah, like I tried emailing him back, but by that time, like you already got it. Like you were already there.
When people, including myself, like when there's an issue, it's not even like they want it done fast. Like you want it done fast. Like, and I don't know. I'm so glad you called. And because sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about emailing that person. I'm like, that was 2 months ago. Like don't even let the weekend go by. Like you gotta get on that.
Yeah,
so
really
again, like yes, you were given an opportunity, but you, more importantly to me, is like you said you kind of tackled that,
right,
and said yes and call. I love that call. I mean, people don't even call on the phone anymore. I remember certain cases where I'm like, I did the same thing. Where all right, I gotta call this person because it's so easy to ignore a text or email or this or that, especially when you're getting multiple replies.
Yeah.
So you call them. That was the Jazz Forum.
That was the Jazz Forum, yeah.
And you've done hundreds of shows now there.
Oh, I mean, I've been there for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
So I've literally been their main acting live sound engineer for all of their weekend shows. Recently, I'm just doing Fridays and Saturdays now, but before I was covering all those weekends because it was at a time where I was desperate. I didn't have much work. I was fresh out of college. I really wanted to get work, so I was just like, it really was a matter of I went into interview. He loved me. Shout out to Professor Carlin because he actually inadvertently helped me because like it was a jazz club and. My last semester of senior year, I took the history of jazz class. And as I was there being interviewed, Take the A Train played in the background. And I was like, oh, Take the A. And he was like, oh, are you a jazz fan?
Gosh.
And immediately, it was just, he loved me immediately.
That's like, just, is that fate? I don't know.
Dude, it was crazy.
So again, like, the college experience, like, could you have figured out what that song is at home on YouTube? Like absolutely,
possibly,
you could probably.
Yeah.
But taking that class, which is History of Jazz, Paul Carlin teaches that. It's a great course.
Yes.
Taking that course, did you like jazz before that, or had to like?
No, not really. Yeah. I mean, I had like sampled some jazz stuff for my music.
So again, I don't even view that as taking a class. I view it as you investing in that knowledge of that. That led to you getting employed. To
exactly.
That. I mean, that's
and now I work heavily with.
This is like a commercial for that class at this point. Like,
dude, I always tell that story because it's so funny. Because it's like you really never think that little things like that could help you, but it is. Sometimes it can come in handy.
And that's why we stress not this. This isn't like a commercial for Mercy or anything, but like that's why we stress like the hands-on stuff. So So when people go, oh, have you used the X32 or have you used a digital console? It's like, and you're not lying. You're saying yes.
Yeah, and I said that confidently because like I know I didn't have a full year of experience with the X32, but I did know that I've worked with one a little bit before.
Yeah.
I took tests on how to do certain routing and certain stuff on that device. So I was like confident enough that I knew that I could figure out and pick up on the little extra stuff along the way as I'm working.
Yeah.
So
what else in the live sound world? I mean, so if you're doing that many shows, you're mixing monitors for them, right? You're doing front of house. Are you recording and live streaming there still?
Actually, as of recently, yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not live streaming, but we are recording.
Yeah, because I think I talked to them. It's funny, I've never been there, but I've talked to them a bunch and over email, and I've helped them with a bunch of students. And
yeah, for sure.
I know they were doing some live stream stuff during COVID.
They were, yeah.
So and we've had other professors here that kind of were very connected there, and it's a great space. Anything else in the live sound world you want to?
I mean, that's really been the main thing. I have been, getting one-off gigs. I've done, fundraisers, stuff like that. There's a band that I kind of work with consistently as well. So, anytime they have dates, they'll ask me to do the sound for them.
It's like the same as networking for producing and engineering
same
too.
Deal, it's really, it's kind of showed me all these facets of music. Like, they're different like sections of the same industry, but they all essentially have the same principle. You know, it's all about networking and meeting new people and kind of just generating that web of just.
And the best way to network is like on the gig, not even like networks. You're not like networking as much as like just do the gig and then you meet people and then that moves on.
Because that band specifically, the way I even started doing their gigs was because I was working at a rehearsal studio that they rehearsed at, and it was just it
all
right time, right place again.
Every gig I've done, every single one I can trace back to like the lineage of like what it was, and it's and like the gigs that I didn't get are probably it's like because I didn't really have an in there. It's like what I mean. But not every one of them, but most of the time you can kind of trace it back to like what it was.
For sure.
What else? What are we missing in the journey?
Man,
what's next?
That's a good question. That's a question that I've been asking myself a lot lately because I kind of, I mean, as you can tell from the story, like I started at one place and now I'm kind of in a completely other place.
Yeah.
So I really have been sitting down with myself and just saying, like, what is next? Like, do I want to stay in this realm? Do I kind of want to go back? I feel like, like I said in the beginning, in my heart, I feel like, I really don't want to let producing go.
Right.
So I definitely want to kind of bring that to the forefront more so. But I'm not mad at, what I've done and what I am doing.
Sure.
As far as live sound, for sure. Like, I definitely still enjoy doing live sound, and that's something that I would definitely want to continue to do. But I feel like, I've just kind of like spread myself to all these different avenues that I can tap into. And it's just a matter of me, I feel like, just choosing one and really running with it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're a pivotal part of the program here too, which is a whole nother part of your. It's not live sound. I mean, we do live sound stuff here, and actually, you will be doing more over the summer too.
True. Yeah, that's true.
But and your skill set here is like, man, every time you come in, and your enthusiasm with the student workers that you help manage, and then the students,
Thank you very much,
you're always just like, all right, let's do it. And there's never a huff. There's never a like. It's always like, how do we get this done? And that transitions into the students and everyone being positive. And so, one, thank you from Mercy, and thank you from all of us for showing up and doing that.
Thank you for having me.
Because it's not easy, man. I know it's long hours.
Yeah.
And I know you're working other jobs, and it's a lot. It's so. And it's interesting. There's been like a lot of people now have had this job. It's there's some turnover because there's a lot of reasons for there's turnover. But it's interesting to see the kind of like 20 or 30 people that have kind of done this part-time night and weekend role. Like Zaire and Rob and Aaron did it for a while, and AJ, but a lot of these people have done it. Jose, all these people, and to see the journey and what everyone brings, and the community, the beautiful community that we all kind of do, and you're in a wonderful lineage of great people here.
Appreciate that.
But keep producing, and I'm sure you are. I know you're cooking up and doing that.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even I always ask, what's next too? I'm always trying to figure out what's next, and it's a tough industry. There's no like staying still in this industry. I feel like
at all. Can't really get comfortable.
Yeah. What didn't we hit? I mean, what made you choose Mercy?
We hit a lot. That's a good question too. I was kind of. My college search was interesting, man, because then that was when I was thinking about like architecture at first. So I was very close to actually going to New Orleans. I was gonna go to what was it called? Tulsa, I believe.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah,
right in the heart of New Orleans. That was for architecture, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Did you go down? Have you been?
No, I didn't. I didn't go as far as to visiting yet, but I did apply, and I was I got accepted and everything, but I didn't do a visitation yet. But I don't know. And then once I kind of settled on music, I was like, okay, what are good colleges for that? And I was kind of thinking of like, well, what would I want to study within music in college? Because there's a bunch of different ways you could study music in college too. So I was looking at a lot of places like Pace and stuff. But I think I applied incorrectly to Pace. This is like so random, but I think I applied to the wrong music major that I want. Like I didn't apply to like the audio production side. I applied to like actual music, and I think that's what messed me up. So I did like an audition video.
Oh man,
did not get in.
On a computer or
on a keyboard? Yeah, on a computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just said like do a video showcasing your talents in like a minute. Okay. And I was like, okay, I just made a beat on a video, with my keyboard and stuff. Did not get in, but my cousin had gone to Mercy. Elijah.
Right. Oh yeah.
Elijah Rios.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Shout out Elijah.
Whoa. I knew that, but
super throwback.
That's right.
Because I remember when we had first met, I told you about it. He's like, oh, I remember Elijah.
Yeah, of course.
But he was here when it was only a 2-year program, I believe. I think that's what he said.
You can do an associate's. Maybe he did an associate's.
Maybe he did an associate's,
but I think we always had a 4-year program. But you can do it. You can do an associate's for sure.
I think he only did the 2 years. Okay. So, but he had told me about Mercy. He was like, "Oh, Mercy's so cool."
Didn't you come like visit?
I did. I did visit
before you came. Yeah.
Yeah, before I officially started coming. So.
And so when did you? Was it fall of like 21, 22 that you came?
Probably. Well, no, I had to be fall of. I went into college that same like right out of high school. So it had to be that summer of 2020 that I really.
Yeah, we had students back. It was a weird. We probably did that every other week thing.
We did do that hybrid thing. Yeah,
because that's what we did. Because we're so hands on, right? So they let us do 1 week in person, 1 week online.
I remember that. Yeah.
And for your first year, honestly, it's not so bad.
It was a.
My heart was like for the senior, like the juniors and seniors that like they're supposed to be spending their entire time in the studios. That was an interesting time. I mean, we got through it. We did the best we could, and it was definitely. I mean, we learned a lot from those. We started doing video. We started doing all these different things in that time. So
true.
We learned a lot about how to just try to survive. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Cam, for hanging out today.
Thank you so much.
We're going to do a part 2 in a little bit when there's more placements and more music.
For sure.
And just thank you for being a part of the community here, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's my pleasure.
Thanks. Boom. We did it.
All right.
We did it.